So we're coming into the fall season. Summer's done. We had tomatoes in here and the two center rows. We had some late season lettuce over here, and then we just kind of let this bed go dormant while we were raising tomatoes so we didn't step on anything. And same thing for the outside two beds. But now we're coming into fall. It's time to get ready to transplant our broccoli and our cauliflower, our kale. We got some bok choy. We're going to be putting a lot more carrots in this year, so we're getting ready for that as well. So kind of sit back and watch a bed flip in action. Okay, so that's a basic bed flip. This particular one's going to be broccoli, so it'll have a weed mat on it. We'll roll that out, tack it down. There's pre-set holes in it, and we'll come in and just dig through those holes, set the plant, cover it up, and let it go. But as far as this bed being prepped and ready for transplant, it's like 5 minutes away from being done. What you saw was we flame weeded out, just to kill off the micro growth. We came in with the broad fork, broke up the soil. This particular plot has really loosened up over the last couple of years with the broad fork. Genuinely or generally not needed to use it. However, because we walked on this particular bed so much during tomato season, I just went ahead and broad forked it to get it settled in or get it loosened up. We brought in the amendments, nitrogen, potassium, bone meal, a little alfalfa, spread in there, and we brought that in and set it in, topped it with compost. A lot of people ask what we do with the soil from our microgreen trays. We compost it down for about a year, and then we apply it to the beds. This particular bed got retopped earlier this season, probably 2 months ago. It doesn't really look like it now because it blends in, but it did get retopped, so that will just get amendments and tilther. That was the last step you saw me do, was run the tilther and the rake through. We'll put amendments on this, run the tilther to get them worked in, and then we will wood chip between the two rows. Same for the next two as we work through those. I don't use a whole lot of wood chips, but for some reason this particular plot holds a lot of water, and the wood chips help soak that up and keep it instead of keeping it sitting. So I will apply them here. Won't be today, but it'll happen in the future. Maybe you'll see a picture with it in the next 2 weeks. But we're going to move into these next couple of beds and repeat exactly the same process. So we'll see you in a little bit. Well, kind of finished up the day. I look like it. I said I wasn't going to get the wood chips in today, but obviously I did. We got all 4 rows amended with compost and nutrients tilthered. We have an invader right there. I'm not real good at this. She's over there. There we go. She's right there. We'll run her out in a second. But compost amendments, tilthered the top, raked it out, checked all the drip tape, made sure it's working. None of it's leaking, all tightened up, all that stuff. Pinned down the fabric, and then we brought in the wood chips, kind of dress it up a little bit, act as a bit of a sponge through the winter. You can see we've got some overhead irrigation here, and all the way down. 4 of those spread out. 3 ended up working better in the other hoop house. The spread of 3, but as you can see, we are fully set in here to begin setting our transplants for the fall/winter. And like I said, we've got broccoli here, cucumber here, not cucumber, cauliflower here. The next one over will be kale, and then the one up against the wall here, that will be darker board kale. This one will be Black Magic by request. We have one more row in this plot to work on. I'm not real good with the stick yet. This one is next. I am not actually sure what I'm going to do with this. This particular row is never done all that well, like production wise. It doesn't matter what I do to it, it just doesn't seem to produce well. It grows trees wonderfully, obviously, but the rest of this, not so great. So we may just shut down the drip tape and roll out some 4-foot fabric to keep the weeds down, and just not do anything with that for this winter. We'll probably address it next spring. With any luck, this particular hoop house will be moving before long. That's a secret. Won't tell you where just yet, but we'll be moving it. So I may not do anything with this until after the move. But that was a full day. That was about 6 hours worth of work just to flip those 4, but there was lots of small steps in between, and I had to make some, burn the holes in the fabric and all that stuff. You'll get, I don't know if you can see them right in there. There we go, right there. But we're all done with this one. We can transplant next weekend.